Today we're talking about the Xvive U2 guitar wireless system. What's up guys, welcome back to Madman Music. My name is Matt, I'm a professional touring musician. I tour around the world performing with my band Propane, and I also stage manage and tech for Napalm Death. Here on Madman Music, I'm sharing all the knowledge that I've gained through my years of experience to help you get the most out of your gear and make the best music possible. If that interests you, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join our community. So my friends over at Xvive sent me one of their U2 guitar wireless systems to check out and to review, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by it. The system uses a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, which is the same kind of connection that you'd find in like a Wi-Fi router. It transmits frequencies from 20 hertz all the way up to 20 kilohertz, which transmits a nice clear signal and allows you to use the system with many other types of instruments that are set up to be used with 1/4-inch instrument cable type jacks. So whether you're playing guitar, bass, or even using something like a keyboard or a sampler, you can use this wireless with that instrument. With its 70-foot range, it works great for practicing at home or rehearsing in your jam space, and it's also suitable for gigging on small to medium-sized stages. Both the transmitter and the receiver both have built-in rechargeable batteries with up to 5 hours of playtime in between charges. And pairing the two is as easy as powering them up and matching them to one of the system's 4 channels. Right out of the box, I'm really impressed with this wireless system. The transmitter and the receiver both have a really small form factor that's easy to move around with, much easier than using the traditional body pack cable style wireless systems. Connecting the two together is fast and the audio is super clear. All this for the modest price of $150. I think for the type of freedom that this system will give you, allowing you to move around without an instrument cable, that's a lot of bang for the buck. However, with all that being said, the system isn't without a few cons that should be considered. Now, in my opinion, none of these are deal breakers. I just think that maybe it's good to understand and know some of these things before you buy, in case you fall into some of these categories that I'll explain now. The first con, I think, is going to have to be the range. Now, because these things have such a small form factor, they can't possibly have a much bigger antenna in order to send more information. So while 70 feet should be able to cover most small to medium-sized stages, if you are one of these musicians that plays a larger stage than that or moves around much more, then perhaps the system might not be for you. The second thing to consider is its limited number of possible channels to connect to. The U2 wireless system has 4 channels that you can connect to. So every transmitter can connect to a receiver, whether it's on one of these 4 channels. So if you're in a band that has something other than the traditional rock band setup as far as 2 guitar players and a bassist, you may have issues with more than 4 people in the band using the same wireless system. And of course, what I mean by that is each of them having their own transmitter and receiver, each set to one of the 4 channels separately. Because of course, if 2 transmitters are set to the same channel as 1 receiver, you're gonna have connection issues. The next thing to consider is battery life. While 5 hours is generally plenty for any musician's typical set, if you are one of these musicians that plays much longer sets or multiple sets in an evening, for instance, a cover band, you may experience issues with the fact that it will only last you about 5 hours. If you have 6 hours of set time to play, you might not be able to cover the entire gig. And while both the transmitter and the receiver do charge relatively quick, unfortunately, I don't think that they'll be able to charge fast enough to have a full charge in between a 10 or 15-minute break. And the last point that I think should be considered is the fact that it does just have a plastic housing. This does kind of bother me a little bit, more so than any of the other points that I've made so far. I think that the fact that it has a plastic housing does give it the feel of being inexpensive. I do feel as though I could break it if I don't handle it with care as I'm plugging it into the guitar and taking it out. However, it's understandable for Xvive to choose a plastic housing over a metal one in order to meet that price point and keep this system as affordable as it is. Overall, I think it's a really great system. It works well, it sounds great, and the price is right. It's a lot of bang for the buck. Whether you're jamming at home or playing small gigs, this thing is going to work out really well for you. If you're interested in learning more about budget-friendly gear that's going to help you keep rocking without breaking the bank, check out this video and be sure to hit that subscribe button. See you next time. Peace.